Hi, I'm Fiona. I was adopted when I was 10 days old. I was born on the 29th of October 1966 in Lincoln Hospital. It was a maternity hospital and very popular with unmarried mothers who were giving their babies up for adoption because it was sort of rural and tucked away. I was always brought up to believe that being adopted was a positive thing. My parents were very supportive of me finding out about my birth family and my birth mother. And when I was 20, the Adult Information Act became law, and you were able to find out your original birth certificate and any details the state had about you. So I received my original birth certificate and then went through the process of trying to find my birth mother, who was the only one listed on my birth certificate. So I spent time at the Auckland Public Library looking up electoral rolls, trying to track her down. I sent away for a marriage certificate search, and over 2 years sort of ended up finding who I thought were my grandparents living in a house in Rotorua where she had been living in 1969 when she was on the electoral roll that one time. But then I lost her. I couldn't ever find her again apart from her marriage certificate, which popped up but turned out to be a dead end because she'd become divorced. And so I sort of came to a grinding halt, and the only option I had was to get in touch with my grandparents, which I didn't want to do first off because I actually wanted to talk to Judith first, because I felt like it was her story and my story and nobody else needed to really know about it, or I just felt like I needed that contact with her ethically. And my friend decided to give me a bit of a nudge and offered to ring these people who we thought were probably my grandparents and find out some information about my birth mother to try and help me with my search. She rang, and unfortunately Jude had actually died in 1976. So this was 1986, or probably 1987 by this stage. And after we rang my grandparents, and I'd found out that Jude had died, I sort of felt like I had the permission almost to get in touch with my grandparents and explain who I was and what I was wanting to achieve. So I spent about 3 weeks writing a letter over and over again, redoing little bits, and then eventually sent it, and caused a bit of a stir. But the outcome of it was that they were thrilled that Jude's daughter had turned up. They were very welcoming, and I just became part of the family, which was amazing. So this is Jude's jewellery box that Nana gave me, and she also gave me her passports, and she spent a lot of years travelling. Even though she only had a short life, she was extremely well travelled. She'd spent a lot of the 70s travelling around to some really interesting places. She'd spent a year in Greece. She was actually living in Papua New Guinea when she died. She'd been to Egypt, she'd been through India, and she travelled mostly on her own. She visited friends, but she actually was on her own for most of it, which was pretty amazing for a woman in those days. Jude was close friends with Edward Bulmore, who was a New Zealand artist, and he painted a portrait of Jude, which Nana always had hanging in her lounge, and after Nana died, she left me the painting. So now I'm in Coromandel on Goat Mountain, and these are my babies.